Have you ever taken a photo and you're really happy with the composition, but it just looks flat and dull? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can use linear gradient masks to add in natural contrast and interest to your photos. And I'm going to start right now. Right, so the first thing you want to do is just simply go ahead and choose a photo that you'd like to create this kind of linear contrast effect. So I've chosen this photo here, which is a great example. Now, it can look quite flat simply because basically the sea doesn't really have any contrast to it. So let's add in some contrast, not using the contrast slider, but using linear gradients instead. So what we want to do is go over to our masks panel found on the right-hand side. Then we want to go ahead and create a linear gradient. What we want to do firstly is go over to the far right-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and create a gradient like so. So it's coming from the top right-hand side of the photo. Then I'm going to go to my exposure here. I'm going to go ahead and brighten it up by one entire stop. Now, obviously, if you're finding it's a bit too strong, you can move around the gradient until you are happy with the result. Then we want to go ahead and create another gradient. So we go ahead, create a new mask and drop down to where you can see it says linear gradient. Then on the opposite side, so this is going to be the bottom left-hand corner, we're going to go ahead and create the exact same size gradient. Then we're going to do the opposite. So instead of brightening the photo, we're going to go ahead, take our exposure, and we're going to drop that down by -1 stop. Now, if I go back just to our basic panel, you can already see that this photo looks a lot better than the previous. So this is the before and this is the after. So we've got this kind of really cool effect, and I actually think it works for most photos. So obviously this photo is a great example of where it does work. This photo also works as well. So what we can do is go over to our mask section here, and what we want to do is create a new mask. Again, drop down to linear gradient. We kind of want it bright, I would say coming from here, for example. So we're going to brighten it by an entire stop. Looks quite nice. Then we're going to go ahead and create a new linear gradient. So go ahead and select, and we go ahead and darken it on this side as well. So we go ahead and darken it down by, let's say, 1 stop. Now, obviously, it doesn't have to be as extreme as this example, but a subtle gradient adding in contrast from one side of the photo to the other can work really well. So yeah, try it out with your photo and see how well it works. Here is the before and here is the after. And if this particular tutorial helped you out, make sure to write it down in the comments below.